but yeah.
Okay. Shikha?
Hi, Bharat.
Hi.
For me, style is presentability, the
Right.
way that I present myself without speaking.
Okay. And Ramya?
Hello, sir. I hope I'm
Hi.
audible. Yeah.
Yes.
According to me, I just put it very briefly. Style is about attitude. That's what I feel.
Okay. Dr. Vasudha? Vasudha, you have to unmute yourself.
Hello,
Ah,
sir.
hi.
The style is the way to express my personality.
Okay. Subhasmita?
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Style means is to present myself in front of the people whom I want to know about myself.
Okay. I'm just going to ask a couple of more people. Tanvi?
Thank you for the question. For me, style is something describes my personality.
Okay. And one second. My screen just switched all around. Payal?
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you, Payal.
Okay, sir. For me, styling is what I'm comfortable in and how I present myself to the
Oh,
people.
okay. And
Thank
Ankita?
you.
Hi, Bharat. So, style for me means personal grooming, how you present yourself with confidence with whatever you wear or whatever you want to present.
Okay. Okay, cool. So I'm glad that most of you have a vague idea of what fashion and style means, and obviously you all are in the right direction. Though obviously your definition of style is a little more stronger than your definition of fashion. A couple of you got fashion also closer to what it actually means. Now, you guys can keep taking notes whenever you want. If you want to have water in between, do whatever. Okay, that's the benefit of being on video. You can do whatever you want. Now, basically, when the reason why I'm telling you this is because this is the industry you're going to work in. Unless you don't understand this, you will never belong there. There is no formal education in that sense for a model who goes to a 3-year college to become a model. This knowledge never comes to you, and a lot of models who come are, even after being in the industry for a couple of years, don't really know what they're doing, and therefore their career is not as long as they'd hope it would be. Okay, now when we talk about fashion first, if anyone's uncomfortable with English and wants me to talk in Hindi, I will do English and Hindi both. So just keep letting me know. Just put it in the comment section on the side. So I'll repeat myself in Hindi as well. Okay, now when it comes to fashion, when you and I are sitting at all of you and I are sitting at our homes and we talk about fashion, we don't decide what fashion is. Okay, we may follow fashion, we may like fashion, but you and I are not the decision makers for what is in fashion. If you've heard of the term fashion capitals, there are fashion capitals across the world, like Milan, like Paris, like New York, and with the changing trends now, even closer home in Korea, with the whole K-pop culture, even Korean fashion has become very popular globally. With the minimalism, even Japanese fashion has become very popular. So these countries, these cities in these countries have fashion weeks every year. They have 2 fashion weeks a year. Same way in India also, we have 2 fashion weeks. We have Lakme Fashion Week in Bombay. We have Lotus Makeup India Fashion Week in Delhi. We have Bombay Times Fashion Week in Bombay. India Couture Week happens once a year because that's a very niche bridal couture week. Now, these fashion weeks happen twice in a year in all over the world is because there are two primary seasons globally. Uh, in terms of longevity, you also have spring and fall and autumn and all of that, but primarily there's summer and winter. So the designers produce 2 collections in a year. One is your spring summer and one is your fall winter. When these fashion weeks happen in these bigger fashion capitals, they sort of preempt and they sort of predict what will be the trends for the upcoming year. Okay, for the upcoming season. Now the season lasts 6 months. 6 months of summer, spring, summer. 6 months of fall, winter. Once they come out with these collections, it sort of synchronizes and it transpires globally into what everyone then starts following. I'll give you a little example of, I'll come to the example later. Now, whether there are these fashion weeks or there are magazine editors, there are magazines like Vogue and GQ and Elle and Harper's Bazaar. All these fashion magazines also play a very crucial role through their editorials to predict what will be the trends for the upcoming season. Now in India, we're Bollywood obsessed. So therefore on fashion magazine covers also you see Bollywood celebrities who know very little about fashion. They have stylists who put fancy clothes on them. They won't even know what fabric they're wearing. They won't even know what's in trend. But because people follow Bollywood in India, therefore they put those clothes on Bollywood stars. Internationally, you'll have top models who are on magazine covers. Now, these are the people who basically decide what is in trend for the 6 months. These can be either magazine editorials or fashion weeks, which sort of makes like a pyramid. They are at the top of the pyramid. Now, when fashion started in Paris in maybe the 14th or the 15th century, at that time, the royalty or the rich or the elite were it was thought that they are the ones who determine fashion. So the rich built what fashion was, and everyone kept following that. And for the rich, what they predicted was that once those at the lower stratas of society also start aping their fashion and also start dressing that way, they will change the fashion to something new. So basically, at that time and through a lot of centuries, it was understood that fashion works like a pyramid. The top decides it, and then slowly, the upper class, the middle class, the lower middle class, and the working class, they all start following the same trends. But then the example I'm going to use now is, but then what happened was that in America, denim as a fabric came up. And a lot of working class people started wearing what we today know as jeans, denim jeans. Now they started wearing these denim jeans and it became very popular. Now the meaning of fashion there started changing, where it was not the rich and not the elite who decided what fashion is, but literally the lowest strata who created a trend and started moving upwards. And people even in upper classes started wearing jeans in a different form. Now, what this sort of did was that it broke the mold of fashion being an elitist thing to more of a culture thing, where culturally you started figuring what worked for you and you wore that. Over the years, then, closer to our ages, when we follow 20, 30, 40 years back, fashion took the definition of eras of maybe music or dance or cinema. So when disco came as music, disco came as dance moves, and therefore bell bottom pants came up, sequins came up, two ponytails came. When you do pop, you think of Britney Spears, you think of Michael Jackson, you think of Madonna, and that sort of stuff came up, which then went into hip hop, which then went into electronic music. And therefore the sort of fashion trend also kept changing like that. Now, fashion, though it changes, what I've spoken up until now is that fashion stays for a bit and then something else comes up. But fashion does not only go and finish and something new starts. It's not fresh slates all over, but fashion works in a circle, in a cycle. What is in fashion today will go away, something else will come, but this fashion will eventually come back again, few years later, few decades later, in a new form or a different form. Everyone's following me till now? Any confusion? So now basically to give you an example of this cycle, and because I took that example before, when it comes to denim jeans, now when I may not look as old, but I'm way older than you guys, most of y'all. So when I was in high school, that's when hip hop and rap music was sort of coming into the global music segment. When Eminem, Dr. Dre, Tupac, all these musicians were sort of coming in, Ja Rule, they used to wear really baggy jeans. And they used to wear it very low, and they used to wear these boxers, and half of their boxers would show, and they'd wear these really baggy t-shirts and all of that stuff. Now these jeans were really in, and obviously at that time the access to internet was not so much, but we'd hear their music, we'll watch their videos on MTV, VH1, or Channel V. And through Bangkok or Thailand, these jeans started coming into India. There were companies called Wu-Tang and Fubu who used to make these jeans, or we buy denim fabric and get them made by our tailors because that was in at that time. Then slowly, obviously, these went away and easy fits easy fits came in, and then skinny